Morning, Trainiacs. So, I just recently had a point in one of the, oh, you gotta be able to see me, sorry. Had a point in one of the little booklets that I'm writing about swim, bike, run to help guide people through their triathlon journey, no matter where they are in their progress. And it hit me that I've never really communicated what I'm about. And the two words that came to mind, because they're all over Instagram, is hacks versus hustle. And I realized that a lot of my content might confuse you. Am I about hacks and shortcuts and using the least possible effort to get the most possible result? Or am I about constant work and hustle? Well, it's neither, and frankly, both upset me because I think both are detrimental to the mindset of what we need as triathletes. So, we're gonna talk about hacks versus hustle. Easy. That was 6K in about 32 and a half minutes. So it might be a little bit of a conundrum for you seeing me now doing 15-hour training weeks and doing a video every day and a podcast and an Instagram post every day. And meanwhile, I'm doing videos talking about hacks and tricks. Frankly, one of my most popular videos has trick right in the title. Yet, here I am saying to you that hacks, the online culture of hacks, is probably one of my biggest pet peeves. Now, when I think about hacks and defining what a hack is versus optimizing, I think about a story of when I first left being a financial advisor and started building up a friend's social media division. One of the things that he was trying to get me to do is he was pushing me towards this AI software that automated creating videos. And the videos that it created, sure, it created a video that we could post on social media, but they were awful videos. They would be talking about a Samsung Galaxy S7 and showing a picture of a Samsung Galaxy S5. It felt low quality, and yes, it accomplished the task of posting a video, but it was a complete cheat. But the intention of it was to cheat the system without much work and try to get the same results. And that's what I define as hacks. I think this hack culture is putting it in everyone's mind, and in the case of triathletes, it's putting in triathletes' minds that if they choose to do 4 6-hour weeks, there are secrets that nobody knows about, that you can do a 6-hour training week and still crush an Ironman. Well, guess what? You can do a 6-hour training week if that's all you have time for. And yes, you can get the most out of that 6 hours, but there isn't a hack that is going to allow a 4 to 6 hour week preparation to be as successful as a proper, say, 8 to 15-hour preparation. And the problem I have with this is that this mindset of I have to hack the approach, it gives people the sense that they can put in less work and get the same result. And then when they don't get the same result, it makes them upset, creates this dichotomy of your expectations versus your results. But then instead of being able to look at it and think that the results are reflective of the effort, people get upset and they look for the next hack, a better secret that nobody knows about. And it just creates this cycle of being unhappy with your preparation and your results. So I'm on a bit of a time crunch here. I have to get to swimming, but we got to talk about hustle, because hustle is just as bad, if not worse, in my opinion. Now, hustle is where the second half of that story of managing that social media division comes in, and that's where it gets really risky for pretty much everyone. I very much suffered from the hustle mentality, and this whole triathlon Taren Team Trainiac thing might not have ever happened because of it. So eventually I left that company, started my own social media company. I was training for triathlon at the time, and I was trying to build this triathlon Taren thing at the time. I was getting up early, I was training as early as 4:30 in the morning, I was working late, I was trying to build a business, and I was sacrificing sleep and thinking that that's what you had to do. That's what society and like hustle, entrepreneurship culture is ingrained in us, that you gotta be working all the time and you can sleep when you're dead. And then it unraveled big time, huge. So after about a year of trying to train for triathlon at a high level, trying to build a new social media company, and trying to grow Triathlon Taren, I wasn't doing any of them well. The business was kind of growing, but I was struggling, kind of not figuring out exactly what we were going to do. My triathlon performances are suffering, and it all unraveled one day where I don't know if it was a nervous breakdown, but at 4 p.m. one Friday afternoon, I basically curled up in bed and was on the verge of tears, telling No Triathlon Kim that I didn't know how I was going to proceed. I had trained myself into such hormonal issues that I was fatigued, I was beat down, I couldn't sleep, I couldn't concentrate on things. I felt like I was going to let people down if I gave up Team Trainiac. I was an emotional wreck, and I wasn't enjoying life. And this is what the hustle mentality brought me to. I thought that I had no choice but to work and work and work and work and work, and if I didn't keep doing that, I would be a failure. And in the case of triathletes who are already putting our body through so much physical, hormonal, just overall stress, adding the stress of all that pressure that you put on yourself, constantly feeling like you have to do more, is the exact opposite of what we need to do. So today, I have a completely, negative opinion of hustle, do work, do more. If you want it bad enough, you will make all necessary sacrifices. I think that is so tremendously dangerous for triathletes. And unnecessary. Jeez, let's have some fun with it. Now, all this might sound kind of funny as I'm gearing up for my second workout of the day, but after the swim, when we get back to the pain cave, I'll explain how I think people need to balance hacks and hustle for their particular situation. Leads to fun. When that ended up happening, this whole triathlon Taren thing nearly ended. I had to give up something. But what was it that really allowed this to keep going? Why am I still here? Well, I realized throughout that no matter how much I might want to do everything, I might want to train like a professional, going like 20 plus hours a week. I might want to build this giant social media agency. I might want to build a big podcast and a YouTube channel and multiple podcasts and print magazines and all these things and have this giant empire. I can only do a certain amount of things before it becomes unhealthy. And what I looked at was, what am I enjoying the most and what am I enjoying the least and what is not good for my health? And what I was enjoying the most is us. I didn't want to give that up. What I was enjoying the least was the social media company. So I started focusing on that less. What was detrimental to my health was just doing more and more and more training. I had to figure out what was a realistic amount of work that I could perform well and only focus on that. And to do well at that, I have to constantly be thinking, what is the most effective way to be good at this that doesn't just involve hustle, more work, more. So practically speaking, now I work from about 7 a.m. to about 6 p.m. and within that time, there's about 2 hours of working out and about 2 hours of eating. So on a big day, I'm trying to put in a good quality 7 hours a day, and that's about it. I'm not hustling away. I'm just trying to make sure that I do enough of the right things to make sure that I'm making progress. And this relates perfectly to training. It's how we've set up teamtrainiac.com. I don't prescribe, all right, you have to do these 10 workouts every single week, or you have to work out a minimum of 6+ hours a week. I just say, here are your 7 days a week, slot in the workouts that you want to do, because you're the only one that knows what you're capable of doing. And with the hack side of it, the optimization side of it, we will do everything we can to research and scientifically back all of the methods that go into those workouts so that if it's 4 hours a week of training you do, you get an effective 4 hours a week. If it's 8 hours a week, you get an effective 8 hours a week. There aren't any shortcuts, but there also isn't the pressure from somebody outside saying you have to train more and more and more. Because instead, what generates success, be it in life or in training, is a consistent amount of work that you are easily capable of doing repeatedly, month after month after month. That's how I was able to continue doing this stuff with us, and that's how I was able to progress in triathlon, not by having these massive workloads in either professional or health life. Consistent work over time with some rest in between. There, rant over. Hacks are a problem, hustle's a problem, somewhere in the middle. Find your middle ground, and whatever you're doing, make sure that you're happy and healthy doing it, all right? Later, Trainiacs.